In its first meeting on Wednesday, the Institutional Reforms Committee, set up by the newly elected Malaysian government, named key institutions that it needs to check. The institutions include the Attorney General's Chambers, Judicial Appointments Commission and Police Force. The Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission and Election Commission, which come under fire amid the One Malaysia Development Berhad, FELDA and unfair election uproar, will also be examined.
So as to identify the shortcomings and problem areas and to examine the adequacy of the checks and balances to ensure the independence of these institutions. And then we have to make recommendations to the government through the Council of Eminent Persons for the reform of the various institutions, and also to make recommendations to the Council of Eminent Persons as to the repeal or amendment of legislation examined to bring them in line with the rule of law.
They have a July deadline to meet as the ruling Pakatan Harapan fast-tracks its work to fulfill the promises it has made during the recent general election.
People have contacted us already and we've been in touch with people. There is work that has already been done on many of these areas by organizations like the Bar Council, Lawyers for Liberty, Hakam and so on and so forth. So we need to collate all of that. Recommendations have been made, but of course we need to update all of that. And then we're going to have inquiries where people will come, will be invited to brief us on their recommendations. And of course the institutions themselves will be invited to provide their input as to how reform can take place.
Meanwhile, the Council of Eminent Persons that the committee will report to summoned former Treasury Secretary General Tan Sri Muhammad Irwan Sariga Abdullah, who briefed the Council on issues related to 1MDB.
Already announced we are going to remove subsidies. I'll die.